Hi, today is a journal with me, and I decided to do a voiceover instead of adding some music. So I hope you don't mind and you don't literally hate this video. I'm just starting off with doing a bit of a recap. In a way, I did an experiment where I've seen so many people on YouTube have very clickbaity titles about using pocket notebooks and how they changed their lives. So I thought, as somebody who journals and has my books with me on the regular, let me see if that actually checks out. And I did it for a week. I didn't like ditch my phone, but yeah, I did have my notebook out and I wrote in it every single time I had an idea or a to-do list item, and I just jotted it down. Overall, the idea was fine. It didn't change my life, and I don't think it would. You kind of have to be a very particular type of person for it to work for you. If it's pointless writing things down if you're never going to action them. So yeah, it just didn't work for me, and I don't like having a to-do list where you have to check off items within a specific time frame. So yeah, I don't think that's going to work. So that's just what I'm doing on the side of the page, is writing out my overall thoughts and what I would change going forward. I will implement having a piece of paper, at least even if it's a post-it note, just to write down anything that I have on my mind throughout the day, and just being a bit more intentional about when using my phone, if that makes sense. So yeah, I thought that was cool. Not much to say. I did decorate the page just so I'll enjoy looking at it, and of course I have Jess from Gilmore Girls there, so every time I open my book I got to see Jess. I mean, you have to include motivation. Moving on, this is mostly media journaling at this point. So I recently watched season 3 of Ginny and Georgia, and I'm just including overall all the pictures that I enjoyed from Georgia this season. Most of them are pink, and I didn't intend for that. I just chose all the outfits I liked on her, and it just so happened that they ended up being all pink, which gave such Legally Blonde Barbie vibes. So I decided to go with it. I'm cutting out the silhouettes because I didn't like the very structured shapes and the squares and rectangles, so I thought it would be a little more dynamic if I cut out the pictures. And here I'm spending far too long working out the placement. It only gets worse. I think this entire video was over an hour and a half of footage, so I cut out so much of just me moving bits around. So eventually I gave up and decided to get out my sticker sheets so I can get the letters for Barbie coded out. I figured I'd only be able to fit in the word Barbie, so I wanted to write in coded somewhere on the page. And yeah, I'm just looking for all the letters and trying to figure out how to spell. Once I placed out all the letters, I realized I didn't like how the shape of them looked. So yeah, I just go back and choose shorter letters, and I just preferred the look of them. The others were a bit too tall. And then again, just placing them over the picture to see if I like the placement before I stick them down. Fiddling a bit too much. Still not happy with it, so I figured that little space at the bottom of the middle picture, I'm going to use a piece of paper and write on that. So yeah, here I am just measuring things out. I did that off camera because I didn't like my writing, and I think I end up saying Barbie core because I think coded just looked ugly to me. I can't really remember. And yeah, just sticking everything down. It was a bit easier to stick things down once I stuck on the letters. That way all the pictures were in the correct place. And yeah, I did want the picture to go over the page. I don't normally do that, and I tend to not like it all the time just because it does add additional bulk to your book. and creates an uneven surface when you are trying to write on it over time. So if you constantly stick in things in the middle of the book, it just does chunk it up. Yeah, so I've done that. I thought it looked nice on this. I didn't want all the pictures squashed onto one side of the page. Here I'm just sticking everything and making sure it's all stuck because I didn't do the best job. My tape runner, my little glue tape was running out, so it wasn't really rolling properly. Here I'm just thinking that I literally hate the choice of the blue image that I'd chosen for season three's like poster. So I stick in some Perstic, which I think is called Blue Tack in America, just to hold the picture in place until I print a more appropriate season 3 poster for this page, one that isn't so jarring and so many different colors. Here I'm literally just going to write about season 3. I enjoyed the season. It wasn't my favorite. I'm not going to spoil anything for anybody either, so yeah, it was definitely entertaining. I did finish it in 2 days, which not the best. I'm sorry if you can see my head bobbing up and down in the corner. I could not. I don't know what happened this time with the setup of my phone. So yeah, sorry about that. Not much to say about the season. I definitely preferred Ginny this season. Last season she was so irritating. But I guess she's a teenager, so that checks out. Marcus, of course, we love Marcus, but I really just needed him to get it together. And Abby, love Abby, but she just wasn't it. I don't know. I wish there was more of Georgia this season. I feel like we didn't get to see enough of her. And yeah, looking forward to season 4. Who knows, maybe the actor who plays Austin would be in college by then, acting like a 6-year-old. Yeah, I think I'm just finishing off writing about actual events in the season, so I don't really want to say anything more in case other people want to watch it and then I'm spoiling it. I obviously couldn't write any further because then it'll look so weird with the picture, the shape of the picture. So I just stopped writing and there's a lot of blank space. And here I'm just writing specifically about the outfits that I chose. I really like them. I thought they just suited Georgia so well and I loved her curls. So I think I was just writing about that. And yeah, I think that's it for this page. Moving on is just a little bit more media journaling, and I started playing Stardew Valley. I think I mentioned that already, so I'm just sticking in two. No, it's one movie, one TV show, and the Stardew Valley spread. So I'm just counting out the little blocks, and I referred to a previous page where I've done this layout before I stick in anything. So I'm just making sure that the spacing is correct since I'm sharing the page between two different, like a TV show and a movie. The movie is, what is that movie? I've literally spaced out on the name. Oh, Totally Killer. Got it. It's Totally Killer. I actually really enjoyed the movie. I didn't think I would for some reason because they don't make movies good anymore, which is why I spend most of my time watching and rewatching old shows and old movies. But I surprisingly enjoyed this. It was kind of, there's the underlying whodunit element. I definitely would watch it again. Yeah, I mean, I didn't love everything about it, but ultimately it was good compared to a lot of the newer releases, especially just the countless remakes that nobody asked for. I also watched White Lotus, which is next on the page and what I will be moving on to. I did not know too much about the show before watching it, and I kind of regret that. Normally, when it's a new show or movie, I try not to watch trailers or even read the synopsis just because I don't really want to spoil anything or know too much or go in with a bias. I definitely should have researched what this show was about because I kind of hated everything, all the characters. I don't think there was a single character that I liked. I found Sydney Sweeney's character and even her friend just so incredibly irritating. And maybe that's the point, and I'm just too thick to get it. I honestly don't know. Um, the only reason I watched it was because there was a lot of hype around White Lotus on Instagram at the time, so I thought, oh, it must be good. Let me try. Regret that decision. I did like the manager though. I think he's the hotel or the resort manager. He was really fun. Yeah, I enjoyed watching him. He was so unhinged, so chaotic, and yeah, just really funny. So I tried season two, even though I didn't like the show. I thought, let's give it a watch. I didn't make it past 10 minutes in when I realized that the cast changes each season. I don't like when shows do that. So yeah, it's definitely a miss for me. I'm not the target audience, and that's cool. I'm moving on to Stardew Valley next. This has slowly become my new favorite thing. I have been obsessed with it ever since playing. I don't know what it is about the game. I think because you're kind of left to your own devices, you know sort of what to do, but you as the player get to choose how you would like to implement certain things and basically do what you want. That definitely was the initial pull for me. Also, that there's just so much to learn and so much to do even outside of the very linear story progression. I just really enjoyed. At first, I didn't think I would like the aesthetics, like the pixelated images of everything, especially coming from the whole Animal Crossing aesthetic. But yeah, I've literally not even noticed. Everything is so beautiful, and yeah, I just actually obsessed. I'm on my second save file. I first started and I didn't know what I was doing. Obviously, I didn't look at any guides or anything like that. I just wanted to try it on my own. I also didn't know that you could move buildings, so I didn't like the placement of my chicken coop and stuff. So I started a second save file, which I've really enjoyed. I'm almost done with the community center, and I'm going to marry Sam on this save file, which is really exciting. He's so cute. I don't know what you do after you complete the community center either, so yeah, I guess we'll find out. Surprisingly, I did not enjoy the farming aspect, like watering your crops every single day just isn't really interesting to me. I just don't like it. I do like the animals, and surprisingly, I enjoyed going into the caves and the combat. Did not expect that that would be me. But yeah, that's been really fun, and also helping out with the villages and their little requests and quests and whatever they need. I enjoyed that a little bit more than I expected I would, because the first time I played, I didn't talk to anybody. Yeah, so thoroughly enjoying Stardew Valley, and I think we're coming up to the end of the video now. So I just do a final flip through of all the pages. I hope you enjoyed this video and the channel with me, and until next time, bye!